Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the next episode of the Unfiltered Bride.
What are we talking about today?
Oh my God, it's my favourite, literally my favourite topic.
What is it?
Timings.
Ugh.
I know, you're going to be bored, but it's
They
important.
are really important. We disagree on some because Georgie thinks her timings are better than my timings.
My timings are always better.
But anyway, let's roll the intro.
Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and welcome,
The Unfiltered Bride podcast. Tips from the top table and beyond.
so you know it's going to be juicy.
This podcast has been sponsored by the wonderful Crafty Lab. Unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know that I got married last year, and these guys created one of my favourite elements of the wedding.
Oh, I love them. These were your newspapers, weren't they?
Yes, so we used them as a little guide to the day for guests. So we included order of the day, crossword, bridal party names, our love story, QR codes for image sharing, Spotify playlist link, and believe it or not, more things. It was so personal, and you know that I love a bit of personality in a wedding.
They're professionally designed for each couple, so it's not just a template that someone else will have. Each couple gets a truly unique newspaper. They don't print until you're 100% happy to, so even for you type A brides, you'll love them.
They have amazing customer service. They really cared and went above and beyond to make sure that we were happy, which we were. A small business with a big heart.
You can have them anywhere and everywhere, and you even had them in the taxis on the way to the ceremony and dotted around the venue. But I've also seen them on ceremony chairs, wedding breakfast tables, and in accommodation. And at 89p a copy, why wouldn't you?
So head to thecraftylab.co.uk to secure your spot in their order book. But be quick, there are limited slots for each month, and once they're gone, they're gone.
So get them booked. You definitely don't want to miss out. If you're wanting to find out more, we've popped their details in the description below.
Timings. Genuinely, and not to scare anybody, it is the most important thing of a wedding to get right.
I agree.
Because there's no point having all bells and whistles and free drink and entertainment and...
Who has bells and whistles?
It's a saying. This is welcome to the episode. There's no point doing all of that if you can't fit it in.
Everyone loves my stupidity.
Yeah, it is funny because you're right. You aren't stupid, but you do say stupid things.
I have to say it's Jack all the time. I'm fucking clever. I'm so smart.
Oh, sweetie. Oh, sweetie, honey, no.
I'm smarter than you.
Absolutely not. How many?
I feel like
GCSEs
you. I feel like
is
you have more common sense than me.
Yes.
And I'm.
Wait, what are you then? If you say book smart, no.
Business smart.
But you can have business smart. I'll take book smart. Pub quiz, I think I do.
I didn't say book smart. I said common sense.
No, I want book smart as well because you ain't more book smart.
Anyway, move on.
You just thought I meant bells and whistles.
That's an old. Maybe you're just old.
Oh, that is fair.
You're on the wrong side of 30.
Anyway. So,
oh my God,
timings.
topic
What?
there though.
What?
Older couples getting married. Definitely worth an episode on.
Don't tell Brian this, and Brian, don't listen when you edit. But I am, bearing in mind that I've been wanting to get married since we got together when I was 18. I am
12.
so glad we didn't get married younger.
Mm-hmm.
So glad, because it would have just been a totally different wedding.
But I do think it would be different if you didn't have Isla.
Yeah.
And you're getting married, then going to have Isla. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Definitely, because I have some really cool older couples.
Yeah,
and
well, they know what they want. They're like, this is what we're doing. Don't care what anybody else says. And I'm like, yeah, go. You
Love
do
you.
you. Whereas younger couples typically tend to have to please more people.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Anyway.
Timings. I'm thinking we go through the day.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do your fake wedding again. So first things first, let's talk about morning.
Yep.
If you're having, how many bridesmaids are you having, Beth?
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's great listening.
5
grown-ups that would need hair and makeup.
4.
Mum?
Mum would need 1.
Mother-in-law?
Yeah, mother-in-law would
Okay,
need
so
that.
now we're on 6 plus you.
Me.
That's 7. So just assuming that hair and makeup take an hour per person, you'll probably be a bit more than that. We're already on 7 hours.
But if I was getting married, which I'm not yet, ... You'll all be the first to find out. I've been really good wifey at home at the moment, so you know,
well done.
Moving house might come.
I know. I saw your lunchbox. Cute.
What was I saying? Oh, if I was getting married, I'd have separate hair and makeup artists.
What, one just for you?
I would probably have 2, like a team of.
I think you'd have to with 7.
Team of 2, so 2 makeup artists, 2 hairdressers, and then 1 for me probably.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. So if we
which,
have two,
which may not be realistic to some people, but I ain't getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock.
well,
in the
no,
morning.
but that's the thing. If it's not realistic, some people, you've got to think about who you're going to ask to be bridesmaids,
Mm-hmm.
because if you do just get one, it is literally 7 hours.
They won't do it, I don't think. Or that, oh, kudos to you, hair and
Depends
makeup.
what they want. Yeah, but they do get up
Edward
early.
Scissorhands.
I
Is that
couldn't
the
do it.
person?
Yeah.
Princess Diaries.
What?
You know when they're like,
Yeah.
Paolo, I told this and
Into
this.
Into...
And made a princess.
Let's work out. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So if you woke up at 6 a.m. and you did do 7 hours, 1 o'clock. But you know my tip of being ready an hour early, so it'd have to be a 2 o'clock ceremony. So already this is step 1 of figuring out timings. How many people have you got? Can you afford to have doubled up on hair and makeup? And how manic do you want that morning to be? Also, and I'm going to bring this up purely for you, is how much decor are you having in your ceremony?
Lots.
Go on, you do. Well, you explain the whole, because me and Beth argue about the fact of when I push people's ceremony forwards because they want to fit loads into the day, and Beth's like, I need to start.
So, yeah, Georgie was a dick the other day.
No,
in
I was honest.
in the group chat that we have with our clients.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, if you're getting married at 2, make it 1.
Right. First things first. I didn't just randomly pop into the chat and set off a little bomb. Somebody was like, is my ceremony time too late? And I was like, tell me everything. And then I was like, yeah.
No. So anyway, so she pushed it back, but
forwards.
backwards.
No, brought it forwards.
1 o'clock to 12 o'clock back.
Forwards.
And then 1 to 2 is forwards.
What? No. You
The hands go
1 o'clock.
The hands go back.
No, it's not a clock, it's a timeline.
Back.
Somebody else has said this before. So there's like a thing on TikTok that they were like, if I said a Zoom was on next Tuesday and I moved it forwards 2 days, would you think that was Sunday or Thursday?
Say it again. So you have Zoom
So
on
we've got
Tuesday.
a Zoom call on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I need to move it forward 2 days.
Tuesday. Thursday.
Or I need to push it 2 days. Something like that.
Thursday.
Yeah, but no, forward means closer.
No, that's not how my brain works.
I know, it's confusing. Anyway, I wanted it to be an hour earlier to allow more time for drink reception, band setup, turnaround, stuff like that.
So yeah, everyone else in the whole wedding gets enough time to set up and do their thing. But the decor is probably one of the most important things. And you know what? If we could have access at whatever time in the morning,
Yes.
not a problem. If I
Yeah.
could get in at 5 o'clock in the morning instead of 6, I'd be there at 5, and so would my team. It's when venues will basically, if you're getting married and there's a wedding the day before,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 you can't get in. Earliest is usually between 10 and half 10.
Yeah.
That means the wedding the day before can rightfully
Clear
collect
up.
their stuff, go out, just like you don't want to be rushed out on your day.
Yeah.
But it means, okay, half 10, I can get in at half 10. 2 o'clock ceremony means guests arriving from 1.
Yeah. And you don't want to see
Don't want to see
styling,
vans,
yeah.
staff. We like to be in pretty much, we can be polishing.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like we can be around and floating around, but
Not
vans
setting up.
unloaded out. So yeah, when you push it back, you push us back an hour, and sometimes it can be tight as it is.
Yeah. Well, it just means then you have to bring more staff, which then costs more for the couple. So this episode is not to scare anyone. It's to make you all think about everything so that you can do your timings properly.
And don't change your wedding ceremony time without speaking to your stylist.
If you're listening, she did a smug little smile.
Just because again,
Well, yeah.
we need to be prepared for it, and we want it as slick as possible. And sometimes it isn't the case of bringing more staff in. I might be at capacity that weekend and
Yeah.
don't have any other staff. Yes, I can get agency in, but who wants an agency doing that wedding? I don't.
How do you feel about a half something? half. How do you feel like about a half one ceremony?
To me, it doesn't matter what time you get married. The access time matters to me.
Yeah, that is true.
Because like I said, if I can get in the day before, not a problem. If I can get in at any time in the morning, not a problem.
But what percentage of the venues that you work at don't let you in before
90%.
90%? Don't let you in before what, 10? Oh, so you got 10. So
Some venues are 12.
That's very unrealistic though.
Literally.
Actually, where
But
was I
because
the other
they
day?
are open to the public and a
True.
hotel, your
Yeah.
hire
I don't know.
your hire for the venue will start at a certain time,
Well,
and it finishes at like midnight collections. We point blank do not do midnight collections
Yeah, that's mad.
because 1, I will not set my team up to do that.
No.
2, they love their jobs and they'll hate their jobs if they got to do midnight
Fair.
collection. 3, you're all drunk and you're annoying. And
Very fair.
4, half you can't get you out.
Yeah.
I need that glass back, and you've got
Down it.
the
down
cocktail in it. It doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
It's not what we do. We can come as early as you like in the morning, but unless agreed prior, we do have some venues we work out, but you then have to pay overnight accommodation fees for my team.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because they can't drive after a certain amount of hours. They need rest periods and...
God, you're good, aren't you?
Mm.
I just send Brian to do whatever I want him to do.
But yeah.
Yeah, but it's true. The museum one I did the other day, that was a really late ceremony. It was a 5 p.m. entrance, again, because the general public are in there, 6 o'clock ceremony.
Mad.
And that's fine, but it's fine. You just need to think about then what decor you're having. You can't have the bells and the whistles if you've got an hour to set up. And we were still trying to set up when guests were arriving, but there was no way around it. You couldn't have set up and done anything within an hour, and the ceremony starts at 6. And you got to seat everybody, interviews, just
anyway,
it's a lot.
I feel like we've skipped. So back to hair and makeup.
Yes, so hair and makeup. So
what's your rule? Give me a rule.
What for?
Hair and makeup timings.
First things first is you need timings. I would put people's names next to the timings.
No one wants to go first,
No one wants to go first. Somebody's just got to... The thing is, and here, this is for the bridesmaids, when everyone says they don't want to go first, you also don't want to go last, because the amount of times where I'm like, when people want bride shots with the girls in their robes, two poor girls have got hair in rollers and one with no face of makeup because they're the last person to go. And you have to get that photo then. You can't do it later. Otherwise, we're then pushing into everything else. So actually, girls, be the first. Just get it done. And then you look really fit for all the photos that are happening.
Not too fit, though.
Just a little bit fit. Enough fitness. But I would put people's names to the time. Give them the timings. Give the hair and makeup. Because the amount of times I sit there and they're like, okay, who's next? And they're like, oh, do you want to go? I don't know. Just like, Beth, it's you. You're at 7. Sit down there. Be quiet.
Another tip of mine is tell your makeup artist or hairdresser what room you're getting ready in, because the amount of times I've seen hairdressers, makeup artists arrive at reception like, what room's the bride in? They're like, the poor girl or boy on reception is like, I don't know. Who?
What
bride? Oh, we had a bride yesterday as well. Oh, sorry, I sent to the wrong. Like it's similar with bouquets. Like we have to get. I want a room. I want a number. I want a mobile number of somebody who I can contact for it.
Ooh.
Because we've left bouquets and buttonholes at venues and they've gone missing.
Yeah, I bet.
Multiple times.
Before a ceremony?
Before.
Have you had to make... Oh, I remember somebody... Oh, yeah.
She didn't have any buttonholes.
None at all?
None. And then a couple of weeks ago, someone ran in and was like, where are the buttonholes? We're like, we delivered them. So I like to physically put them on so I know they're there.
Hand them. Can you just sign this document to say that you've received?
We have a form now where you have to sign.
Good.
Because... yeah.
I just don't understand how stuff like that can go missing.
I think when you're in a big chain and things like that, you can. Chain hotels.
Where's it getting given?
Someone goes to someone and someone's like, oh yeah, I'll deal with that. And then it's... But anyway, 9 times out of 10 doesn't happen, guys. Don't worry.
That's not a nightmare to think about. I've never seen that happen. But then I hold it and I'm like, I'm just going to put this on right now.
So hair and makeup.
Okay, so people's names have to be down next to it. Give them timings. They need to know the room that you're in. And you need to be realistic with your... timings. And I will say it again because this happened last week as well. You've got to be ready an hour before your ceremony, at least. It's so manic. It's so manic. I can't express. That hour is not a normal hour. It does not go at the same amount. It's like...
And if you want to do TikToks and cute vids, then probably 2 hours.
Yeah. I should have left 2 hours. Even I was like rushing in that last hour because you've literally got loads to do. And especially if you're trying to do first looks... dress shoot, like then the photographer wants to take photos. Your hair and makeup want to take photos because they want it for the gram. Everybody's trying to do loads. You set an alarm on your phones. Bridesmaids need to be putting their dresses on an hour and a half before the ceremony.
So any other tips for hair and makeup in the morning?
My biggest tip for that morning is just shift everything earlier and just I think it's worth the money to pay for an additional hair and makeup person. I don't know the going rates of that these days, but it depends on who your supplier is. But I would much rather have like a proper glam squad of people.
Well, in theory, you've got to pay per face anyway for makeup.
Yeah, but you've got to pay for travel and somebody's time.
I think it's per face and travel.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess so.
I saw it on Facebook, I think.
Again, it's going to depend on your supplier.
So you just got to pay some extra travel fees, which are a couple £100 max, aren't they?
And typically as well, bride will not take an hour. It'll take longer.
So my 7 bridesmaids will take.
So your 7 bridesmaids plus you would take 8.5 hours. But then you want an hour ready, so that's 9.5 hours.
That's like longer than a day at work.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. When people are like, oh, I think we want to party till 3 a.m. I was like, you're not. You've already done a day at work and then a wedding.
Okay, so grooms or same-sex couples, the partner who is traditionally not getting hair and makeup done.
Yes.
What are their timings for the morning?
So typically it's the groom. They would need to be there, I think, at least an hour and a half before the ceremony. Just so that they could, like, I'd rather than be there 3 hours early, have a beer in the bar. You can do the photos, the touching up photos where they're putting the bow tie on and doing their cufflinks and stuff like that. That can all be done at the venue, but there's nothing worse than guests start arriving and there's nobody there to greet them.
I had this lovely couple, Emma and Lewis. They know who they are.
Well, of course they know who they are. You just named them.
That's a quite common name. Lovely couple, love them. Lewis on the morning had a checklist from Emma of like
what?
Things to check if things are in place. I was like, Emma, you got a good one there.
Did I give Brian a list actually? Did I give you a list of yeah, I was like, meet musicians at ceremony room at this time, go and take photos, open your present, do this. Because I thought men, again, typically haven't got a freaking clue. They haven't planned any of it. They're literally turning up on the day and being like, oh, this looks nice. Who's that?
It's my wedding.
The amount of couples that the amount of brides in our chat where they say that the groom hasn't got an idea what they've booked.
So yeah, we have.
You can't say it.
They say we have fudged spreadsheets. Yeah. We have lied about things.
Things get included. Things get definitely work.
The amount of times that people think Georgie is included with etiquette. Same for male content creation. They're like, it's part of etiquette's package. Yeah. I'm like,
you liar.
I've actually I've actually sat and lied. I've had a text from one of my clients say, please just say this. Please just say this. I was like,
okay.
Oh yeah, you got that free, didn't you? Oh, that's a great service.
So yeah, grooms turn up, not a clue what's going on. They need to be there early, in all seriousness, to get their bearings, to figure out where everything is, because they haven't tended to be as involved. They need to go and see the ceremony space. They need to meet the venue. They need to just seal the suppliers, meet the photographer, all of that sort of jazz. Okay, so moving on. Another timings to think about. This is all before we've picked a ceremony time. Is that the first person in the couple will have an interview if you're having a legal wedding, half an hour before the ceremony, and the other person will have it quarter of an hour before the ceremony.
So if I'm being honest with you, you need to be ready at least 2 hours before, really.
This was the problem that I had last weekend, is that I made the bridesmaids all put their bridesmaid dresses on. We were trying to get ready, but then hair and makeup is touching up, and then I'm finishing cutting out the labels out of things, and then the venue's coming up and going, the registrars are ready for the meeting, and I'm like, we haven't got the dress on yet. We haven't done the bridesmaid reveal. We haven't done the stepdad reveal. We haven't done the final photos. Like, if you want those, the beautiful photos where they're stood in the window and they're looking out gorgeously, like all of those.
2 hours.
Honestly, just be ready.
Because you say an hour, well, half an hour before I've got to go to registrar.
Quarter of an hour before you have to go. But yeah. First looks will take half an hour. I know it doesn't seem like they'll take half an hour, but they will take half an hour, because I have to go and get dad, and then dad's stopping and talking to Mary on the way. Like, there's a lot of faff. So I agree. I would like people to be thinking of being ready 2 hours before.
So what happened last week then when they weren't ready in their dress?
We were late for the ceremony.
How late?
So they must have done the interview so the ceremony was meant to be at 1. So they did the interview at 1, which meant the ceremony started at 1:15, which, if you've got a registrar, some of them are really strict and they won't wait around. They were okay. It wasn't that late, but it then does push everything. Like, that's what people forget. I did a TikTok once that was showing about timings, and someone was like, oh, I just don't want somebody ordering me around all day. And I'm like, okay, let everything overrun, miss your band set, don't get evening food. Like, it ruins everything. So you need someone who's like, cake cut.
That sounded weird.
It's a click.
That sounds horrible.
Sorry. There you go.
Oh. Okay, so fine.
So this is... Yeah, go on.
What time dress on?
Dress on an hour before.
Well, what if you got to be ready 2 hours before?
Yeah, but that's what you made that timing up.
Okay.
People need to start being conscious of the time 2 hours before, because bridesmaids need to get in their dresses. Then you just want bride going in her dress exactly 1 hour before. That dress needs to be going up 1 hour before. Takes 15 minutes maybe to do all that. 15 minutes to do first look.
Then said first look took half an hour.
Well, yeah, but it depends on the. It depends on so many things.
I think you're just going to run out of time. Like,
everybody runs out of time. Everybody runs out of time.
Okay.
So just be ready.
Next. Ceremony timings.
Okay, so this is where you kind of have to pick a ceremony time and then work your way forwards, get some timings, and then see if you need to go back and move that ceremony.
So I'm going to be honest with you. If you're getting married at 11 o'clock in the morning, don't do it.
You can if you've got one bridesmaid. And
but it's a long day. I think it's too early for guests, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. 12 o'clock to me is a church ceremony. So if you've got a 12 o'clock ceremony, I'm picturing it being at a church, because then you've got...
12 to 2 is the most common timings.
Yeah. I would say 2 o'clock is the most common for when you're at a venue where you're not leaving anywhere. Mm-hmm. So let's for this, are you getting married at a church or are you getting married in a venue?
I'm getting married in a venue.
Okay. So should we just start with a 2 p.m. ceremony for you?
I would probably do 1:30.
Of course you fucking would. No, do 2 p.m. for this, because then it's ruining my timing.
2's that little bit too late for me. So 1:30 ceremony, please.
Is it going on until midnight? So, okay, these are my genuine questions that I'll ask couples. So what time do you want the ceremony?
1:30.
Okay. Are you going on till midnight?
1 a.m.
You're going on till 1 a.m. Okay. Have you got evening guests coming?
1 to 1.
You just said 1:30.
1:30 to 1:30 then.
No, now we're into
Okay. 1:30 to 1.
Okay. Evening guests?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So we're on a 1:30 ceremony. Is it a legal ceremony?
Celebrant.
How long ceremony?
Half an hour.
Okay. So we're on 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing confetti in the ceremony, like as you walk down the aisle, or are you doing it as a line after?
I'm not going to do confetti.
Yes, you are.
No.
Why?
I'm just...
Mate. No, you're wrong there.
I don't want to do confetti.
Why?
No,
it's such a beautiful photo.
Yeah, but I'm just... yours look great, but I'm just not a confetti gal.
There's not many things that I normally try and persuade couples to do.
I just think it's just a bit like, everyone line up, bring confetti.
Yeah, but then do it as you walk down the aisle.
No.
What?
It'll get my candles.
You have to have confetti.
I don't want confetti.
Right, you don't have to, but it's the same as a veil. It's the only opportunity in your life that you'll get to do that.
I just don't think I want a confetti shot.
Okay, would you mind having a confetti shot for the sake of this?
Yes.
If you were going to have confetti, would you want it down the aisle or would you want it as a proper line?
Line.
Okay, so that, and do you want a whole group photo? What is the matter?
You know, you said about me saying music.
Mate, did you hear it?
You say,
did you hear it though when you listened back?
No.
Music.
Music.
It's because you do MEW, music. Anyway, do you want a whole group photograph?
Of everybody?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so if couples do want that, doing that straight after the confetti is the best time to do it. Before they go and get a drink, before you lose them, just confetti, right,
What's
group
your
shot.
opinion on group shots?
I didn't want one because...
I feel like it reminds me of school, you know, when there was
Yeah.
like, line up, tallest at the back.
I
always used to be, I was really tall at school, but I'm not now really, I'm average height.
Really?
Yeah, but I was...
at the back.
On one of my netball team photos, I was bang in the middle at the top and I was like, Jesus, you're the giant.
I didn't want one because I think they're awkward. Like it is a bit, everybody get together. Okay, you come forward, right? You tuck in, bridesmaids at the front. It's a bit too much for me. However, I spoke to a friend before and she originally got married in COVID with 3 people. And then she got married again and then was like, same person, got married again. And she was like, I was so happy to have a group photo because we actually got everyone we loved in one photo. And I was like, I get both sides of it. I just didn't want it.
I didn't love everyone in the photo though, that's why.
Can we have a group photo apart from you and you? Just step out, please.
Imagine, I'd love to do that.
You can sometimes speak to your photographer and be like, please don't get this person.
It's a bit obvious when you send the photo out and you'd be like, oh, they photoshopped me out.
No, but you could.
I swear I was in that picture.
You just get them to move the camera angle slightly so that they're covered by someone's head.
Anyway,
so if you want a whole group shot, that's the time to do it. I would normally allow like 15 minutes to do that confetti and group shot. So if you're not going to do the group shot, allow 10 minutes. But I always put that timing in. So we're on 1:30 till 2 ceremony, 2:15 now, drinks reception. You having canapes?
Yeah.
Are you having entertainment, live music,
saxophonist?
Yeah.
Gloss magician?
Of course.
Canapes? I'm having a drink station.
Yeah. Pimp your Prosecco.
No. Did you see this
Mate, it's 50-50.
slush and rosé station I sent? That was cool.
Mm.
I'm working on getting a cool drink station. Did you see my message out to everyone today? I was like, I need answers.
I don't like it, and it's actually really starting to annoy me. All of these cool things that are coming out after I've got married.
Get married again then.
To Brian or someone else? Cedric, if you're listening.
Anyway.
Right, so we've got drink reception, canapes, music, and entertainment. So we're going to make your drink reception 2 hours. There's no point being any less than that. Group photos will take ages. They take way longer than people think. If you weren't having any sort of entertainment, I'd make it an hour and a half.
I wouldn't if you have got stylists who need to turn around the room and venues and caterers that need to turn around the room. 1.3 is not enough.
1 point what?
1.3.
What's 1.3?
1 hour 30.
Oh, 1.5.
No.
Oh.
Please just give us 2 hours minimum.
That is a very valid point that we missed that.
Because
if you're turning that room around,
because
you need time.
even 2 hours, I get an hour and a half because you take some half an hour to clear the room and get the tables out.
Very fair. I was picturing a venue where the ceremony is different. So totally valid point. I totally agree with you, Beth. So
For once.
So if you've got drinks, canapes and entertainment, 2 hours. If you've got a room that has to be turned around, 2 hours. If it's a different room, I would do an hour and a half if you're not having
But do you then feel like the couple don't really get to mingle with their guests for an hour and a half? Like, I feel like hour and a half is like jobs for the couple, then half an hour is like mingle.
Yeah, but 2 hours for people that don't have entertainment for guests is a very long time.
Yeah, I always say to people, if you've got like rooms on site, people usually check in during that time.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want anyone to go anywhere.
We haven't got any entertainment yet.
Yeah, okay, fair. So yeah, I would, if you're not having canapes, 2 hours is a very long time to stand around without any food.
How do you feel about people who don't do canapes?
They're just the best bit of the wedding.
I feel like people are always hungry, especially that 12 till 2.
Yes.
That's lunchtime.
Yeah.
People aren't going to have lunch usually before a wedding.
And people have travelled, and although your ceremony's at what, 1:30, people have got there at 12:30.
Yeah.
They left their home at 11:30. Like it pushes it back. I think I would much rather not have a starter and have canapes.
Agreed.
Okay, so we're agreed. Okay, so we've got canapes, we've got drinks, and we've got entertainment. If you were literally just doing drinks, an hour, because otherwise people are just stood around. And it's boring. Then we have to get everyone in. Everyone forgets this bit. You need to leave 15 minutes at least to get everybody in, because everyone starts faffing. You're not talking today. Did the TikTok comments, they upset you?
No, it's just
I'm tired.
I'm bored of this conversation.
Do you know what? Everybody gets bored when you talk about timings. And I will tell you something now. The people that don't talk about timings have got shit weddings.
Timings are really important.
No. They're the most important.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But basically, I'm a bit quiet today because I don't really disagree with much of your timings unless it's about styling. Because I have been a wedding coordinator and I know timings are fucking crucial.
Okay. Thanks, Beth. I'll just take this episode. Sponsored by Georgina Rose Events. Okay, so we're on guests coming in to be seated.
Yeah.
Again, think about if you've got loads of guests, it'll take more than 15 minutes to get everyone in.
Do you know what? Herding guests is one of the worst jobs for a wedding coordinator.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking wants to move.
I know.
Well, do you want your food or not?
There's drinks on that table. Go and sit down. Yeah, which is why I try and get best men and ushers to do it, because they listen to them a bit more. But 15 minutes to get everyone in. If you've got like an interactive wedding table plan, that takes a bit longer too.
Oh, I love them.
What would you have?
Sip and solve.
I love that. Do you remember I sent that to you and I was like, can we make this work? And we couldn't do it in time and it wasn't happening.
So, I said about garden games and everyone's like,
oh, that was really catty.
I like that because we like games. Like we like board games. We like doing our thing, just not garden games. Not for me, nada. But sip and solve, cool.
Yeah, I like that.
But I wouldn't do that as my table plan. I just have it as like a
entertainment.
Questions about us, fill them out.
I would be that annoying guest that filled it all out though.
Next, you wouldn't know everything.
I would.
The one question.
Somebody's going to write penis on it though. You know that.
What is sip and solve?
Brian, if you went on Pinterest through any of our wedding planning, you would have seen this. It's like.
So sip and solve is a
crossword.
It's a crossword.
But like big,
large, big.
Pinterest
it is cool. And there's questions about you.
Yeah. Or about guests.
Guess. So basically what you did in your newspaper, but on a bigger scale.
Yes. Yeah. Like our crossword. And then
And-
people fill in the bits they want.
So you were like, I'd fill out all of yours. You wouldn't know everything because in yours you put a fucking stupid question like,
What?
if Isla was a boy, what would she be called? He be called?
Yeah, but that's people. Some people knew that.
But I
If
didn't.
you'd asked me the question in the years of our
So when I
parenting
do
life.
it, if I ever get married long future, I'm going to make sure there's one question that you don't know.
That's mean.
Or I might just lie about the answer so you can't get it right. You'll be like, I swear it's this. 1, 2, 3.
No. And I'll go back and listen on podcasts to be like, she must have said it at some point. It was Julian, by the way. What Brian wanted to call Isla. It's only because we liked One Tree Hill. I'm glad we didn't. She's not a Julian.
No.
I also don't think she's an Isla either.
I think she's an Isla.
I wish I'd gone bolder with her middle name.
Anyway.
Sip and solve. Ready for
Sip
my
and
next
solve.
wedding. What name do I think I went bolder with?
So
interactive table plans. Are you gonna have an interactive table plan or no?
yeah.
Okay, so let's probably allow half an hour for all your. How many guests you got?
So for those people who don't know what interactive table plan is.
Sorry. So things like take a shot, take a seat. We had little notes for everybody. Every person had a little cute letter to them, and then what table they were on. What else is there? Oh, there's ones where you take your name off and then you have to take a Polaroid of yourself and peg it back where your name was.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there?
Loads of different cocktail ones.
Yeah. Escort card ones sometimes can take a bit longer because people figuring them out.
What's an escort card?
They're like, it's quite American. You know, have you watched Friends?
No.
You haven't watched Friends?
My dad
Right,
was
the podcast is on. I'm not doing
my
this
dad
podcast
was like
anymore.
so obsessed with Friends. He had like a DV cabinet and like obviously
DV cabinet?
DVD cabinet. And you know like the Friends, like the seasons
Yes.
would spell Friends.
Yes.
And he had like red, purple, yellow. I was like, you're a freak.
You haven't? No.
Joey.
You can't just shout a friend character
Monica.
at me. Go on, name them all.
Joey, Monica, Chandler, Rachel.
Yes.
How many more are there?
I'm not doing this anymore.
Joey, Chandler, Monica, Rachel. How many more?
2.
Men or women?
One of each.
Phoebe?
Yeah. You're missing the best person.
Joey, Chandler.
You're missing the best person.
What's it
the best
begin
friend
with?
character.
What's it begin with? I know it.
Ah.
Ah.
Yeah. We've just lost half our listeners because you don't know that. Ross.
Ross! I do know Ross!
Fuck's
I
sake.
like him.
Obviously not.
But I also do feel like, in the nicest way possible, it's a generation thing, hun.
You're the same age as me.
I'm not, darling.
How old are you?
Darling, I'm not.
How old are you?
Sweetheart,
How
I'm
old-
not.
I hate that. I literally hate it.
I'm 27.
You're 31. It's what happened in 4 years.
Like, it is.
No.
It's a thing,
No.
hun.
So what did you watch, babes? Bratz?
Yeah.
Did you?
Arthur. Every day when you're
Yeah,
walking
I watched
down the street.
Arthur. How many school years above me are you? How would we even begin to work
Below
that out?
you, am I?
Below me. Forwards or
So you do
backwards?
go.
What year are you in?
You're older than Jack, aren't you? Yeah.
How old's Jack?
30.
Yeah, but me and Jack might have been in the same year.
No, he's October.
Oh, then no.
So he was 2 years above me. So you must have been
3 years. That's
above
not
me.
a lot.
Honey, sweetheart, it is.
It's not.
Sweetheart, it is.
No, honey, it's not. And also, Friends is not a generational thing.
I think 'cause
Friends
it
is
was-
a life-spanning program.
I think because it was all like my dad had it on all the time. I was just like, ugh, like can't be asked.
I have lost all respect for you as a human, as a friend, as a stylist.
Friends is just not my thing. Do you know what it is? I have a really dry sense of humour.
Friends.
No.
No. Friends is
No.
only dry humour.
No.
Yes.
Like I only like certain comedians. Like I love Jack Whitehall.
What a stab in the dark. What a weird person to
But
name.
because it's like I laugh at things. Like do you know what I hate when they have the fake
the canned laughter.
Yeah,
It's
like
called sitcoms.
I'm just not me.
So what sitcom would you watch? What was your one?
Waterloo Road.
What?
It's a soap, isn't it?
I literally don't even know what you're talking about.
Waterloo Road.
Nah, you've named something for the sake of it now.
I dabbled with One Tree Hill because my brother liked it, but
One Tree Hill was brilliant.
But again, it
No, but
just,
what was your show?
None of
What
my
was
friends were watching
Everything
it.
I learned in life was from Friends.
I don't know what my show was.
Then what a sad
Coronation
life.
Street.
No, these are
EastEnders.
soaps. What else was out? Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother.
I hate all these sitcom shows. They're just not me. Like, I'm like an iCarly kind of girl.
Isla's an icon. I don't know why you're acting like you're 18, hun. Oh, darling, you're older, babe, sweetheart.
I don't know what I watched.
You weren't doing homework.
Fort Boyard? Loved Fort Boyard.
I did like Crystal Maze.
No, that wasn't for me.
What?
Takeshi's Castle?
Takeshi's.
Oh. What else is there?
I'm not playing this game.
No, what else is there?
People either grew up watching Friends or they were losers. There's no in between.
What is my sitcom
What are you Googling?
show?
She's going to end up on one of those
1995.
Reddit quizzes. If anybody doesn't realise, I really like Friends. I walked down the aisle to the Friends theme tune. It was beautiful.
Everybody Hates Chris. I liked that.
Yeah, but that was like an after school. It wasn't like Friends.
That was.
Does anybody remember? Oh my God, Brian, what was the Wild at Heart? Did you ever watch Wild at Heart?
I love The Simpsons.
Everybody likes The Simpsons. Did you watch Wild at Heart?
No.
What was the name of the guy? It was set in South Africa, wasn't it?
I was out playing, not in front of the telly,
You
love.
fucking liar.
I was on MSN. Webcam.
That's where me and Brian started our relationship, was on MSN, and we weren't speaking at some point. So I used to, when you could see the music that people were playing, I used to play our songs so that he'd know that I was like sending messages.
Oh.
And when people used to write I heart and then put like ... but the amount of dots that person's name was.
Oh, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I did.
Your file. Yeah, no, none of these, like Big Bang Theory, don't like. Sorry. I'm more of like a crime
No, you weren't.
series kind of girl.
Not at that age, you weren't. I'm over it. Right, anyway. Okay, so carrying on with timings. We're on to now wedding breakfast.
No, so 15 minutes to call guests in.
30 minutes if you're doing something cool, or if you've got a lot of guests. How many guests have you got?
Let's say 100.
Okay, so if you're not doing anything, 15 minutes should give them enough time to get in. You guys then come in, whoop, whoop, into the room, sit
Whoop,
down.
whoop.
Okay, speeches before or after?
Before.
How many?
About 3.
How long do you want to like that?
Probably, the speech is probably about 5 minutes each.
So 15 minutes. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Everybody does this to me and they're like, it'll be a 2-minute speech. It's never a 2-minute speech. They clap. People, what's it called? Yeah, what's it called when people shout, heckle you? For speeches, 3 speeches, half an hour at minimum.
Why do you get
half an hour? Because I really care about it. You can see how thingy I am with timing.
Sounds like you got a retainer.
I don't have a retainer in.
Anyway,
half an hour.
Okay, half an hour for speeches.
If you're going to do 4 speeches, I'd probably make it 45 minutes just for the sake of it being a nice round number. I don't like it when people are like, call to dinner at 3:10. I'm like, what? So speeches first, 3 speeches, half an hour. So what time? So we're on. Right.
How many speeches should people do? Like, is half an hour enough for speeches? How do you feel about split speeches? How do you feel about speeches mid-wedding breakfast?
Do not put your speeches in between the courses. It sucks.
Ooh.
Sorry, that was a little bit much. From suppliers' point of view,
who cares about you? Because I fucking don't at this stage.
Would you like it filmed?
Beth's come back alive.
Would you like it filmed?
What?
Would you like the speeches filmed? Right, okay, because then the videographer's got to come back in, set up his equipment, put the microphone on, get ready. Do you want them photographed?
I'm not mad on speeches being recorded, you know.
Yeah, but you get the nice audio over the video. Definitely worth it. You'll want to see those. I can't remember our speeches, so I
hate it when people have videography and they the whole speech is in there and I'm like, this is like a 20-minute
I want
video
that to keep, but I'm not going to put it on the video.
Also, I hate when people record it on a phone. Stop doing it.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Please
I do
stop.
agree with that. Stop doing that. Or put the phone down somewhere. There's nothing worse than like the bridesmaid like that. So coordinator, photographer, videographer, whoever else all has to come out back in between, and in between each course come and reset everything up, take the photos,
I suppose
do the thing.
Photographers eat during that time.
Yeah, that's the time to back up
basically
photos.
Don't interrupt Georgie eating.
Don't interrupt me eating. But it's just
hangry.
This is step 1, is that it's a ball ache for suppliers.
Okay.
Step 2 is catering. When you say, it's a 5-minute speech, honestly, it's not a 5-minute speech, because you don't know what they're going to say, don't know what's going to happen. It then extends the cooking time. They've got a beef Wellington in the oven that needs to go out, and best man Dave has whacked out a projector that nobody knew about. That happens. So just don't. And also I feel like the food time is the bit where everybody actually just gets to chill and talk to each other and mingle and like,
yep.
I like it. Don't put speeches in between. Not
Cool.
needed. Not needed.
So half an hour speeches.
Yeah, I'm going back to your first question as well. Although I feel like we could do a whole episode on speeches, but 4 speeches is the limit.
Ample.
Is the limit in one group.
Okay.
If you wanted to have more speeches, that's fine. Do 4 at the start, 2 at the end, or 3 at the start, 3 at the end.
And they got to be good.
Yeah, they got to be good, and you got to break them up because more than 4 is
People
no one's
get
listening.
twitchy bums.
Very twitchy. So
Okay.
3 speeches first, perfect. Because you've had canapes, you can have speeches first, all good.
How long do you allow for wedding breakfast?
So typically 3-course meal, 100 people, 2 hours.
Nice. I was going to say the same.
Okay, good. Look at us. Have we grown up?
No.
Okay. If you're doing tea and coffee, that's going to take longer.
Just don't do tea and coffee to the table, please. Just don't do it.
Beth,
Don't do it.
I agree with you.
Like, I don't like high-fiving. You got to come closer to
I
me.
can't. That
wanna
would have been a
hold my
good
hand?
sign for the thing.
Go on then.
No, I'm not coming all the way over to you.
Right, I'll pretend. Ready? High five myself. Did you see my face? And I was like,
weirdo.
get your hand away from me.
Are
Are you 12? Are you
It
12?
would have been really good for the podcast and the clip to for us both
I am
to
just
lean.
not a high fiver. I
I'm
don't
not
know what it
normally.
is.
I don't know what came over
when
me.
When people are like, great job, high five. And I'm like,
No, shall
and
I
I
tell
do
you-
the most measly little high five. I'm like,
I hate, when you watch
Very
kids'
American.
game shows, and for reference, people that are listening, when they throw their hands in the air and they go, yeah, I hate it. It gives me ick.
I don't know. I'm just not a high fiver. Like,
Fair.
if anyone has high fived me in the past, that
I'm
you know,
sorry.
it's just a measly little. Literally, I'm like,
Gross. Anyway,
Anyway.
tea and coffee, I agree. Unless you're going for quite a formal affair, then it works the table.
very old school.
Very old school. Have a station.
Get people out that room so your band can get in, get set up, and get your evening
Agreed.
started
I
sooner.
agree with what you're saying. So 2 hours. If you're having less people, if you're having less courses, it should take off.
So,
chunks.
in theory, from when guests are called in, so I've got 2.5 hours for wedding breakfast and speeches.
Well, no, 2 hours 45 minutes because you got that 15-minute window for everyone to get
Yeah.
in. So we're on. So for your timings, we had 1:30 till 2.
Yep.
Then we had, and sometimes I'll just tweak the timings so that they sound nicer. So 1:30 till 2 ceremony, 2:15 drinks reception till 4:15, 4:30 speeches, 5 o'clock wedding breakfast, 7 o'clock cake cutting if you're going to do it. Should I tell you why? You're not going to do it? You don't want a cake? Okay, that's fine. You don't have
Champagne
to.
tower.
Okay. At the end of the wedding breakfast, if you're not doing speeches at the end, it's really nice to do a cake cutting or a champagne tower or something to get everybody up and
out the room.
Yeah. So if you can do something like that,
Just anything.
yeah, anything that gets everybody off their feet and guests are idiots. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with me. My teeth are too big for my mouth. You need something that just symbolizes, look, everybody, it's the end of the meal because guests are idiots and they'll sit there like, what are we doing?
And keep hold of their napkin.
Yeah, napkin. You just, all you care about is the styling.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, fair.
Anyway, so
So
out the
we've got
room.
everyone out. Now, this is the biggest thing that you're going to do after this meeting that we're having is to go and ask your band or DJ how long they need to set up.
Yep.
The amount of people that say, yeah, we'll be back in for first dance at 8. And they do that. And then on the day, band arrive and I'm like, hi guys. And they're like, yeah, no, we need 90 minutes to set up. And I'm like, oh.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to do beer pong.
Yep, cool.
I might play a Mr. and Mrs. game, but in like a different room.
Somewhere else. Fine. Cute. Cool. So you've got beer pot, you've got fun stuff going on out the room, band or DJ setting up. Normally it's an hour, but let's say it's 90 minutes for
I
them.
think people make a mistake with starting their evening too soon sometimes.
I agree. Yeah. Oh my God.
Because
Honestly,
like there is only I know 4 hours worth of dancing doesn't sound a lot to you, but it is.
You don't want it too early and you don't want it too late. It's a
Mhm.
very sweet spot that you have to hit because if you go too early, especially in summer, it's really bright and it's like weird to do a first dance. If you do it too late, you do literally just get started and then it ends. So you said that you were going on till 1 a.m.
Yep.
So we're good. So actually yours works quite nicely that we finish at 7. Your band are going to take 90 minutes to set up. So you've got a 8:30 first dance. They do the first set, which is normally an hour. That's when you then do evening food. Don't ever do evening food when a band are playing.
How do you feel about certain venues have cut-off points for evening food?
It's really fucking annoying, actually.
I agree.
It's just
Like,
push it back.
I could finish my wedding breakfast at 7. They're like, oh, latest we're doing evening food is 9. And I'm
and
like,
you literally have finished your evening food at 7 in our fun little
Mhm.
game. You don't want food at 8:30.
Mhm.
No one's eating that. Oh, also, so you finished at 7. I would invite your evening guests at 7:30.
Yep.
So you've left a little buffer for the evening guests to come. Cool. They then come into everybody being out playing stuff. so they don't feel like they're walking into a wedding. They're walking into a party. First dance 8:30, evening food 9:30, band second set 10 to 11. Then we've got sax. You're going to bring them back out with your DJ, aren't you, in the evening? And then on till 1 a.m. So I'd do the last song till like 12:30 and then leave a half an hour like goodbye time.
Nice.
Smashed it. Those are perfect timings, Beth. Well done.
Okay.
Should we do a bitch from a bride?
Yeah.
I got one ready for you.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it exciting?
No, it's sad.
Oh, I don't like sad
Sorry.
ones.
No, it's not sad. Hi, ladies. I absolutely love the podcast. I feel like I've learned so much as a July bride, but I have got a bit of a dilemma. Maybe it's a bitches from a bride. So a bit of a backstory. We're having a non-traditional top table as my father passed away during the pandemic and my partner's parents are still here, so it'd be a bit lopsided and awkward. So I think that means they've just got scrapped, maybe gone for a sweetheart table. There is, of course, a bit of family drama going on. Mum and sister and things aren't getting on due to the mum having a new partner. So they don't agree with the partner being sat on top table. Fine, I get that. We're currently sorting the table plan. There's only one table that's directly in front of me, and I've chosen to have my brother and sister and their families there because I'd like to talk to them, and they're probably my closest people. But my mum has got really angry about this because she wants to be right in front of me, but obviously I don't really want to see her new partner on the day that's just a reminder of what I've lost. Do I keep it that way and risk hurting my mum, or do I change it?
This is so sad.
I know.
That actually breaks my heart a little bit.
Me too. I would have been heartbroken if my dad wasn't there.
So there's two ways I'd play it.
Mm-hmm.
One, the partner doesn't come. Hear me out. I get it. But also if you are, say I was entering a relationship with somebody who had lost their other half and it was their kid's wedding and it was just a really insensitive reminder, I'd be like, hey, I'll step out of this one. It's very fresh, Georgie, and she obviously feels a certain type of way about it. Very entitled to. Like, it is, like, the pandemic wasn't that long ago.
No, I know, and I'm trying to think about if it was me, and I totally get it.
Also a very big day for a bride to not have her dad there who she thought would walk her down the aisle.
Yeah,
like, that's huge.
Okay.
Or the mum has to just shut up and be like, I respect you, I respect your feelings, like, I miss your dad too, I will do whatever makes you feel comfortable on the day.
I really wish that parents were better when it comes to weddings. Really do.
And I get it, because she's lost her husband if they were together,
and she obviously wants comfort from the fact that she has a new partner. It's really nice for her that she has managed to find somebody else and blah 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 blah.
But if it's an awkward situation for the kids, it's, my mum would say, step this one out. Well,
to me also it makes sense to have one set of parents on one side and one set of parent, even if it's mum and partner. I personally would invite the partner. I would, do you know what I would actually do? Don't tell anyone your table plan. Don't fucking tell anybody where they're sitting. Yeah, but then you risk the mum sat there with a face like a slapped ass the whole wedding breakfast. And you can see her and you just feel shit. Sit there with a face like a slapped ass. She won't say anything on the day. On the day is so different and everyone's like, woo, hypey. I don't know. That's a really, really sad situation. That is a sad situation. I would stick to your guns. Maybe, again, it's just a conversation that needs to be had. And actually, when you explain
respect my feelings,
maybe it will make more sense when it's spoken about. But that is really sad. Tip jar? It's tip jar time. Tip jar. Tip jar. Hit me. Wedding shoes. I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions. I don't want to hear your opinion until ready. Expensive shoes or non-expensive shoes? Not expensive shoes. Flats or high? I'm not a child. High. 2 pairs of shoes? Change of shoes? Yeah. How do you feel about designer shoes? It's a waste of money. Any other feedback? Comfort. Comfort is basically, none of your guests give a shit what shoes you've got on. Literally nobody cares. So whether you just buy some really nice shoes and take photos of them because you want them in your album. Do it, and then I'd send them back. Yeah, whatever. Like, please no one listen to this because I will be sending them back. Sorry, Louis Vuitton. First of all, I'm terrible because designer means nothing to me. I don't care. Not very materialistic. However, some people are materialistic and that's okay. Like, that is fine. But they're not normally comfortable. You're normally worrying about ruining them. My bride the other day took her shoes off to go and walk in on the grass to take some photos, which I loved. But like, I got my shoes from Quiz. They were £20. Love it. Super cheap. And actually, the ones from the legal wedding, the amount of people that had messaged me like, oh my God, where are your shoes from? And I was like, Quiz. I don't care. Cheap girl. I am a cheap girl. I don't care. If you can see your shoes, it might be a little bit different. I've never, ever, ever, ever in my 50 years of wedding planning have I heard somebody say the wedding was really good. I just didn't like the bride's shoes. It's never happened. Ever. Yeah. Would you I feel like you're more likely to buy expensive shoes than I am.
I'm a comfort gal.
Yeah.
Comfort over anything. I'd still like them to be a bit bougie, but
Why?
because I'm a bougie gal.
Yeah, but why? Why shoes? Why bougie shoes?
Because I can't have a banging dress and non-bougie shoes.
But you can't see your shoes. Yeah, so my 3 tips for shoes. Comfortable shoes is way more important than cool shoes. Comfort over coolness.
You're not cool.
You're not cool, and it's okay. Wear your shoes in. Everybody forgets to do this.
Mhm.
Wear your shoes around the house. Walk around in them. If they hurt, please don't do it on the wedding day. It's just going to make you miserable, like literally miserable.
That is one thing that always makes me miserable.
Yeah, when your feet hurt.
Oh, worst thing
and
ever.
Brian told me that it's gross when people go barefoot.
Yeah, me.
That was one of his icks.
I was the first person to do it at the wedding.
Go
Your wedding.
barefoot. Yeah, ick. See, I don't really mind it, but I do get it. If you spend all that money on a dress and then you take your shoes off and then the dress drags on the floor. So yeah, comfortable shoes. And if you're going to buy bougie shoes, maybe do the ceremony in them and then swap them out.
Yeah.
And then my other tip, and maybe it's more important for someone like me than you, check how tall your partner is. I couldn't have, sorry, Brian, I couldn't have, not normal heels, but I couldn't have high heels because I would have been taller than Brian. I didn't want to be taller than Brian.
An own image thing of you. Like some people don't mind being taller than their partner.
Yeah, I didn't want to be taller. I know Brian didn't want me to be taller than him.
How do you feel about open toe shoes?
Yeah, mine were open toes. I don't really have a preference on it.
Okay.
Again, you just can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see it. You wouldn't have even known if my shoes were trainers.
Okay, great. I hope this episode was helpful.
I feel like it's more helpful than it was banterful.
Because we
That's okay.
agreed on
I
some
know.
things.
Do you guys prefer it when we agree or disagree?
Someone said the other day it was boring because we didn't argue enough.
Oh, sorry.
And then someone the other day was like, I can't listen because you argue too much.
I know. Do you know what? We can't please everyone. I don't care. YOLO. See you next week. You know you'll come back.
The fact you just said YOLO. Anyway,
Aw.
bye!